the next dimension. So what it is right now is I'm about to bring to the call Dr. Craig Bythewood. Now we're talking about a gentleman that has a PhD in finance and economics with over 26 years experience. So when we say this is your RX for Forex, this is definitely what that is, your RX for Forex. So I'm going to turn this call over right now to the one and only Dr. Craig Bythewood, the finance doctor. Dr. Bythewood, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, Miss Tasha M. Dyer, aka the Trade Whisperer. Thank you very much for introducing me. And I would like to welcome everyone to a talk with the finance doctor. Let me begin by letting you all know how much I agree with some of the things that I saw in the chat. Ms. Dyer, this was an absolutely outstanding training. Your delivery, your passion, your expertise. Just know that we really appreciate who you are and what you bring to this movement. So while I'm thanking people, while I'm congratulating people, let me also congratulate all of you, because one of the reasons why this call was so good is because of your energy. You really were dialed in, you were asking excellent questions. I can feel the energy popping back and forth between you and her. So as someone who speaks for a living, I know that it is the audience that is a very important part of the puzzle that makes the tapestry that is a good presentation. So thank you, Ms. Dyer, for your outstanding training. And thank you, all of you, for being such a great audience. So welcome to a talk with the finance doctor, your RX for Forex. So since we have so many 111ers tonight, let me just briefly tell you what this call is about and how we do things here. We specifically chose that preposition with on purpose, because this is designed to be an intimate conversation between you and I. Ms. Dyer's expert training is chart-based. So having a question in the chat is the perfect methodology for that. But we want to, on this call, honor the with. So we honor the with by knowing that if you have a question for me, I want you to unmute your microphone. I want you to do what I call walk in the power of your unmuted microphone. We've been doing these calls for 2 years, and the best calls, if you go and listen to the recordings, the best ones are the ones where somebody asks a question. Why? Because the question represents something that's happening in their household. And the way the collective consciousness works, if one person raises their hand and asks a question, there are other individuals in the same room that have the same question but did not speak up. So know that we like to take advantage of the fact that personal finance is the only area of our society where the only people who provide you information about the products happen to be the same people who sell you the products. So we really can take advantage of this opportunity to 2 nights a week be able to ask any question that we possibly could think of in the world of personal finance and economic empowerment. What is the difference between personal finance and economic empowerment? Well, to me, when you walk into Bythewoodism, if you know what you're doing, you will always have a job. And if you know why you're doing it, you will always be the boss. That allows you to take personal finance and then put it on steroids and make it become economic empowerment. So that's what we're about on this call, economic empowerment. But hear me, I think that's only 49% of the model. The real model for this class is an understanding this class. Listen to me. The real model for this Zoom call is an understanding of knowing that in order for us to be prepared for what we are about to do, in order for us to be prepared for the success we're about to have, in order for us to be prepared, we have to be an energetic match to the results. We have to energetically match what we're doing. So let me prove it. Oftentimes, we think that all we have to do is find the vehicle. All we have to do is go for it. All we have to do is show up. All we have to do is watch the videos. But what I'm going to do on this call tonight is I'm going to take several statements that were made in the last 60 minutes, and I'm going to expound upon them in an effort to really give us a bird's eye view of the way in which we want to approach this. And of course, at any time, if you ever have a question, when I hear that rustling of the microphone, I get excited and I'll shut up, because your questions always are more important than my agenda. In fact, let me do that first. Questions, comments, testimonies from anyone on the call. So what I was saying is that I want to prove to you how important it is that we have the right mindset to be able to capture this. And we need to understand, first of all, that our mindset is oftentimes based on our experience. And our experience creates a perception. And our perception creates a belief. What is a belief? A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. Does that make it true? No, that makes it true for you. That makes it your belief. So if we understand this principle, we can put ourselves in a position where we can ask ourselves little awareness questions so we can determine, are you really in a position to understand and to realize that your mindset is ready for the wealth that you're about to create? So here's my example. There was a show that I used to watch, and quite frankly, someone called me and said, hey, you have to watch this show. So I did it because I trust that person, and I watched it. And the name of the show is called The Good Place. So if you've never seen it before, you don't need to have seen it in order to understand the analogy I'm about to give you. What I want to do is share with you a scene where there are 4 characters, okay? So these 4 characters know each other, right? They're 2 males, 2 females. One of the females happens to be wealthy. In the entire show, she talks about her wealth. She walks in a high abundance. She has a high expectation. She expects to have wealth. She expects to have the finest things. That's the way she rolls. Let me pause for a second. Let me put a pin in my analogy. How do you roll? Do you roll in a situation where you think you deserve the best? Because in order to get the best out of this vehicle, in order to get the best out of Ms. Dyer's trainings, you have to believe that you deserve the best, because you're going to get what you believe. Didn't I just say that it's our experiences that create our perceptions, that create our beliefs? So if your experience are of lack and your perception is of lack, then your thoughts will be of lack and your belief will be of lack. So you'll find a way to push this vehicle away. You'll find a way to, oh, did he go there? Self-sabotage. That's real. Self-sabotage is real. I'm telling you where it comes from. I'm wirizing it from you. So I said all that to say this. The 4 people are in this scene. And one of the 4 people, the female, she wins the lottery. So she walks in the room and she says, hey, everybody, I won $18,000. So the first character says, oh, that's great. And the second character says, hey, congratulations. And the third character, this lady I'm telling you about that walks in her abundance, she said, oh, better luck next time. And she said it so subtly, and you know, there's no laugh track. You wouldn't even pay attention if you weren't really paying attention. But I believe very strongly that art imitates life and life imitates art. And sometimes the writers of these shows put one in where the universe is trying to send you a message. You could have easily watched that scene and missed it. Guess what I did? I rewound it. It's on Netflix right now, so I rewound it. I rewound it and I said, now what just happened? And I saw it again. And they were loud. They were like, yay, congratulations. So the 3 of them were congratulating themselves because somebody won $18,000, but somebody else had a different perception. Somebody else had a different belief. Somebody else had a different experience. And their mindset was, oh, better luck next time. Because your number could be way higher than 18,000. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this, be your own banker. Because how many of you put big bank, take little bank in your affirmations? That's a past talk with the finance doctor 111ers. Big bank, take little bank. It doesn't say bank, take bank. It says big bank, take little bank. So we use that rap song about YG as a mechanism for the mindset we want to have. So you got to ask yourself right now, in this moment, what kind of perception do you have with your numbers? Do you think 18,000 is too big? Or do you think 18,000 is too small? Because whichever one you think, that will create your reality. It is so important that we understand that we have to expand our mindset. Let me tell you something about the human brain. Let me tell you something about the human brain. Being an educator, being a speaker, being a life coach, being a master certified law of attraction practitioner, I study a lot. But after I got that brain tumor in 2010, 2009, I started really studying the brain. I want to make sure that my stuff is tight. So I study that thing. And the human brain is just so interesting. So here's a little fact about the human brain. Once the human brain expands, it'll never go back to its original state. Say that again, doctor. Okay. Once the human brain expands, it will never go back to its original state. So what that means is, if you make a decision tonight based on this one little line that the writer wrote in one little scene, in one little show that you may or may not have watched before, you got to think about what $18,000 means to you. Yay, $18,000. Oh, better luck next time. Oh, better luck next time. So what I'm saying to you is simple. It's not about the lottery. It's not about the 18,000. It's not about that young lady's life. What it's about is the fact that you are literally going to receive numbers that are consistent with your belief pattern. You're going to receive numbers that are consistent with the way you see the world. So if you have a lack mentality while doing an abundant vehicle like the Be Your Own Bank Cash Out strategy, let me say it again. If you have a lack mentality while you are doing an abundant strategy like the Be Your Own Bank Cash Out strategy, your subconscious will find a way to fail. Why would he use such harsh language? I'll tell you exactly why I'm using such harsh language. Before I do that, let me do what I promised I was going to do. There's 6 statements that were made in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 statements that were made in the chat. And I like to go through those 6 statements and provide some finance doctoralic. Did he say finance doctoralic? He did. It's recorded. And provide some finance doctoralic. He messed it up second time. He plays too much. I'm going to provide some finance doctoralic analysis on each one of these things. So the first thing that was said was an art, not a science. An art, not a science. Now, I absolutely love Miss Dyer's analogy about the children and the 15 minutes and the 4 hours. That's some powerful stuff. But I'm going to borrow the children part of it and say this, because the question was asked in the chat. What do you mean, Miss Dyer, when you say it's an art, not a science? First of all, I appreciate the question, because like I just said, there were other people on this Zoom who didn't quite 100% get that. And because Ms. Laster was wise enough to ask, it benefited multiple people. Thank you, Ms. Laster. So let me give you my take on this art and not a science thing. So there's a book, and the book says, this is how you raise your children, the science of raising your children. If your children say this, then you say that. And then if they say this, then you say that. And if they do this move, then you respond with that. And if they take this position, you respond with that. Come on, y'all. Is that going to work? Is that book going to be effective? In fact, like Ms. Dyer said, you could have multiple children in your household that will respond differently to your response to their response. Raising children is not a science, it's an art. It changes, it adjusts by the child, it adjusts by the age. Hey, it adjusts by the year. There's some things going on in social media right now that make me raising my 15-year-old now totally different than the way I raised my 19-year-old when she was 15. It's an art. It's an art. So I like Ms. Dyer's answer when she was talking about the fact that some of y'all try to memorize it. Y'all do. Y'all get so tight. I've spoken about this before, and you try to memorize everything. When you look at it as an art and you're able to adjust and you're able to understand that things change, the way in which this particular pair looks today may look differently next year, may look differently next week. The way in which this happens now, it may look differently. So it's important that you recognize it's an art so you don't get all caught up in memorizing it. You don't memorize how to raise your children. You wake up every single day and you do something different based on what they do, based on what everybody else is doing. I got one for you right now. There are 2 children in my house right now. One's in college, and one was an e-learner, and one was going to school. That's different. So if the book says this is the way you take your kids to school, what do you do when there's a global pandemic and now you got one on the computer and one at home? Then, and one at school. Then the one that was at school decided she wasn't feeling it, so she changed to be an e-learner. So now I got 2 e-learners. Wait a minute, I thought it was a science. I thought I could follow the book. I thought the blueprint said do this and then do this and then do this. No, I have to adjust. I have to adjust as a single dad raising these children, because once it was e-learn and not go to school, now it's 2 e-learners. So I hope that this analogy stolen from Ms. Dyer makes you understand my point. It is an art, not a science. Don't memorize the steps, understand the steps so you can be able to respond to the changes and adjustments that happen. It is an art, not a science. Second comment. How does the MetaTrader 4 know? So it doesn't matter what came after that. But the question was, how does a MetaTrader 4 know? So this is the way I'd like for you to think about this concept. So right to the right of me, there's a dining room table. And the dining room table is where I eat. Now, a little bit cat-a-corner to me, diagonally, perpendicular, he said perpendicularly, he's got a PhD. Perpendicular to me is my kitchen. Now, in the kitchen, that's where I make it happen. That's where I take steps. That's where I come up with new recipes. I love spices. So my kids love, Dad, spice that meat up the way you like it. I like to just put all kind of different spices and experiment and all that kind of stuff. Guess what? When I get to the dining room table has no idea what I did. It has no idea how I prepared it. It has no idea whether I used the pan or whether I used it in the oven. It has no idea whether I baked it, broiled it, or sauteed it. It has no idea. That's what the MetaTrader 4 is. The MetaTrader 4 is your dining room. The only thing you do in the dining room is eat. You don't take your pots in the dining room and start cooking. So think of your MetaTrader 4 as simply being where you eat your trades. Just where you execute your trades, and that's it. I love taking complexities and making it simple. Sometimes we complicate it. I did the same thing when I started. So it's very simple. MetaTrader 4 is where you eat. The kitchen is where you make it happen. The kitchen is your vibrato. The kitchen is you looking at the news. The kitchen is FX Street. Kitchen is anything that you do to decide what you're going to eat. You eat in the dining room, you do everything else in the kitchen. Does that make sense? Any questions, comments, testimonies about that? Excellent. Next comment. 53 is a new 83. Okay, best broker. I've spoken about this before at length, but now I'm going to give you an abbreviated version of it. Asking someone who's an expert, so I get the point. So asking someone who's an expert who the best broker is like asking a relationship expert who you should marry. The relationship expert has no idea what you like, what is going to turn you on, what's going to float your boat, what's going to blow your bubbles. So yeah, I made all that up. Y'all can borrow that. So the bottom line is having a broker is a personal choice. It is something that you have to be comfortable with. So understanding that means that you don't ask somebody else to give you a recommendation on the broker. You give yourself the recommendation of the broker. You go on the website, you look at all the factors. There could be a particular issue like maybe the way in which money is withdrawn. And based on the way Tasha Dyer does business, it's perfect, so she picks that one. But based on the way you do business, you want a different type of withdrawal option, so you pick this one. So never rely on somebody else to tell you what you should do with your broker. That's a very personal decision that you should make on your own. All right. One-line questions. I want you all to be very careful about this. And I can often tell who's new by the way in which you ask the question. Now hear me. Ms. Dyer and Mr. Rogers and Dr. Bythewood are the type of mentors, coaches, and educators that are going to answer any question that you ask. This is a servanthood ministry. How much did you pay to get on this Zoom? Nothing. We do this out of love. We do this because we want to financially educate and impact. But I want you to hear something. When you ask a one-line question and then you get a one-line answer, you're missing so many important steps that go along to why that answer is the answer. So if you ask a question in this form, I'm okay with you asking it, but I want you to go back and find the video in the BYOB Cash Out Strategy Library that addresses that topic. Then you really will understand the nuances. Because you asking a one-line question and then you getting a one-line answer gives you a one-dimensional answer. And we're interested in your success. We're interested in you understanding the layers. And back to the original point, if you put yourself in a position where you understand how it works, when you understand the layers of it, then you'll be in a much better position to succeed. So beware of asking one-line questions, getting your one-line answer, and then taking that to the market. You want to take all the facts. Think about this for a second. What if you ask a question about support and resistance? And you ask the question and it takes 1 minute and 45 seconds for Ms. Dyer to answer. The video on Confluence is an hour. So there's something in that hour that will be not in that 1 minute and 45 seconds. So all I'm doing is making you understand that the question is fine, but take advantage of the educational process that you have in front of you. You know you're in IM Academy and you're getting the infrastructure, you're getting the foundation. But then as you begin to build the house of trading on this excellent strategy, because I agree with y'all, this is the best strategy that's out there. I agree with y'all, but you put yourself in a better position when you understand the nuances. Next line. Someone said, blah, 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 and then I miss out. Blah, 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 and then I miss out. We did a whole talk with the finance doctor about missing out. And I wish I could remember the name, but what we said was that you're not missing out on what happened. You're prepared for what's about to happen. Ready for the next one. That's what it was called. You're ready for the next one. So you got to think about that. How do we start this call off? We started this call off by saying that our experiences create our awareness, our perception, and our perceptions create our beliefs. And our beliefs will be what we go through, what we create, what we manifest. So understand that when you think about missing out, you have just set a frequency to the universe that says, send me more things to miss out on. But if instead you said, okay, I got it now, I see how that works. When the next one comes, I'll be ready. That's a totally different energy. That's a totally different energy. When you look back and think about what you missed, look back at it, look back at it. When you look back and see what you missed out on, what can you possibly do about that? The only thing you can do is feel some type of way. But if you look ahead and say, okay, the next time that comes up, I'll be prepared. That's a totally different energy. So you have to think about that and put yourself in a position that rather than looking back at it, look forward to what you can do. Did you hear Ms. Dyer say for 2.5 years? Some of y'all have been trading for 2.5 minutes and you talking about what you missed out on? You didn't miss out on anything. You're just learning a skill set and you're layering it in a way where you put yourself in the best position to succeed. I am a girls basketball coach. Yesterday was the first day of tryouts. So one of the things that we're doing is we're putting the ladies through these things that we call speed rounds, where they're doing activities, they're doing skills, but they're doing it so fast that they've got to put themselves in a position where they're not thinking. All they have time to do is act. And we're doing it because we want them to be able to instinctually respond better once we get into big game competition. So we're doing this layup line. We got a bunch of girls on this side, bunch of girls on this side, and they got to go. And they got to make a certain amount in a certain amount of time. And if they don't do it, then there are consequences like running sprints, all kind of stuff. So we're putting the pressure on them on purpose. Now, if a girl goes through that line, let me back up. One set of girls are shooting, the other set of girls are rebounding, and it's a round robin. It's a beautiful thing to just see them roll. Now, one of the girls comes and she misses her layup. What would happen if she stopped and went back, got the ball, put it in her hand and said, OMG, why did I miss that shot? That's what y'all do. Can we keep it real? Oh my God, I missed out. No, you didn't. You missed the shot. Get back in line and come back around and get the most. Because if they do that the first time, the line is going to break down. They're probably going to get run over because that next girl is coming and the rebound is coming and you're going to get knocked over. Plus, you're now jeopardizing the entire team from being able to get their goal because you stopped to talk about missing the layup instead of getting back in line and make the next layup. Y'all know y'all hear me. Y'all know y'all hear me. So instead of saying you're missing out, just get back in line and make the next layup. Just get back in line and make the next layup. How about you just get back in line and miss the next layup? I see those two words in the chat all the time. Miss out, miss out, miss out, miss out, miss out. No, you didn't. You just prepare for the next one. Prepare for the next one. Prepare for the next one. I know that y'all hear me. Now, last comment that I saw in the chat that I want to talk about. Y'all got me sweating in here. And this is what it said. It said, I need to trust myself. That's why I'm failing. I need to trust myself because that's why I'm failing. Do you agree, BYOBers, that if you trust yourself, you will succeed? Do you agree that if you trust yourself, you will get to your desires? Do you agree that if you trust yourself, you will put yourself in a better position to get everything you want? So I just want to pose the question, is I need to trust myself, that's why I'm failing? The same energy of if I trust myself, I will succeed. Okay, y'all don't believe me. Y'all think Dr. B is just talking. We're about to do an exercise. We're about to do a Zoom exercise, and I want you to do it. I know your cameras are muted, but I can see you energetic. I can see you. So I want you to do what I'm asking you to do. I want everybody to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. Now, with your eyes closed, I'll do it too. Let's do it as a unit. With your eyes closed, I want you to repeat after me. Keep your mics muted, but in this moment right now, if you have somebody else in the house, just tell them, hey, I'm about to do this exercise. This crazy doctor has me doing this exercise. All right, now, repeat after me with your eyes closed. No, no, no. No, no, no. Repeat everything I say. No, no, no. No, no, no. Last time. No, no, no. Now open your eyes. Now with your eyes open, I want you to think. Don't talk. Just think about how your body feels right now. Close your eyes. Let's do it one more time. No, no, no. No, no, no. All right, open your eyes. Now take a deep breath for me. Now, close your eyes again, BYOBers. Repeat after me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Keep those eyes closed. Repeat after me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. One more time. Yes, yes, yes. Now open your eyes. Now think about how your body feels. Now, who's going to be man enough or woman enough to unmute your mic and tell me how different your body felt?
Dr. B?
Yes.
This is Fadia calling from Claremont. It was an instant shoulder relaxer. It made you feel lighter as soon as you said yes.
So what Miss Thompson is saying to me is this. She's saying when she said no, 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 her body felt tighter. And when she said yes, 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 her body felt lighter. So that means when you say to yourself, I need to trust myself, that's why I'm failing, your body responds to what you just said. But if instead you speak in yes energy to yourself, I need to trust myself so I can succeed. It's not semantics. It's not words. It's energy. And you proved it because you just felt it. You just felt it. You did a 2-minute exercise. And in 2 minutes, you were able to feel. The body will do what you tell it to do. The body will do what you tell it to do. The body will do what you tell it to do. So in 2 minutes, you felt a lightness just because you chose yes energy words. In 2 minutes, you felt tightness just because you used no energy words. How many times during the day do you put yourself in a worse position? How many times during the day do you make things more challenging than they have to be? Because you're speaking in no energy and you don't even realize it. I need to trust myself so I can succeed. If I trust myself, I'll succeed. Come on, y'all. Speak life into your situation. The word of God says, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you think fail, you'll be fail. You think succeed, you'll be succeed. So I need you to understand the importance of this conversation. We want to be an energetic match to this wealth and abundance that we can create. So are you going to be like the other 3 people and think $18,000 is a lot of money? Or are you going to be like the one person and think that's all? That's all. We're not judging nobody. But I'm just saying, if you think $18,000 is small, guess what you will get? You will get an experience of higher than 18,000. If you think 18,000 is too high, then what will you get? You'll get an experience lower than $18,000. So understand, we're giving you the sauce. You got the perfect vehicle, the perfect strategy. Now you got the perfect mindset to match the wealth and abundance that will come from the strategy. Let's get it. This has been a talk with the finance doctor, Mr. Gerald D. Rogers.
Doctor, please.
Oh, sorry.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
We have taken several more steps up on the glory ladder tonight. And I want you to know with that exercise, as soon as we begin to say yes, a smile. I mean, I feel it all over my body. My whole body is smiling as a result of saying yes, yes, yes. I am so grateful for being able to change from glory to glory. Thank you so much for taking us a few more rungs up the glory ladder tonight.
I certainly appreciate that. You know, everybody's on this call is going to steal that glory ladder. That's powerful right there. Love that. Love that. Glory ladder. Anybody else have any comments, questions, anything else they'd like to say? Okay, Ms. Dyer, can I please have you come and bring some closing comments for us?
Yes, yes, yes,
Hey,
Dr.
just real,
So
just
I
real.
just, oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out once again to Dr. Bythewood. I'm in transit right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am, but I would be remiss if I did not get an opportunity to just salute the great doctor, and for all of you who are fertile ground. I'm excited about, and this reminds me, if for those of you who did not get an opportunity to hear our broadcast today, about the seed. So we know the seed always works, so we just have to make sure that the soil is properly prepared for that. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for once again allowing us to pour into you. And we trust that the soil, which being you, is being excavated properly so that in this year you'll reap 100 return fold. And I'm excited to know that I had the opportunity to spend some time with my eldest, my son. Today was his 30th birthday, and so I'm in celebratory mode because, you know, just knowing that he's been able to matriculate and as an African American male, be able to accomplish things that he's been able to accomplish at the age of 30. So a lot of that, what we do, is a reflection of you guys. So I thank you.
Awesome. So I just wanted to, as we close out this evening, I want to make sure that you all are aware of the radio broadcast. You heard Mr. Rogers just speak on it. So that's definitely what I wanted to just come in and highlight. On Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, it was today. And yes, we'll post a recording. But this is where we're reaching the 1 million. This is where we're speaking to each and every last one of you all. So you want to make sure you're tuned in. And that is rejoice904.com. So I know you hear us say the new Rejoice. That's what the title of the station is. But it is rejoice904.com. You want to make sure you're plugged in. You want to make sure you're tuned in. You want to make sure that you bring a friend, neighbor, and a relative to this broadcast, because once again, this information has been hidden in plain sight. Once again, you haven't known about it. Once again, it's just so important for you all to understand what is manifesting and what is all around. And I mean, when we know that even today, we were broadcasting in London, okay, in London today. And so you want to make sure this is global. 1 million families financially educated and impacted. And you heard me say it, you heard Dr. B say it. This is what that means. We're impacting so you can be that economic shift in your family and your legacy and your household. And then that's what the book is, Financially Educated and Impacted. Make sure you order your copy. Be Your Own Bank, hidden in plain sight. And you can grab that and get that at BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. Yes, spell it out. BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. Go order your book today if you have not already gotten it. Make sure you go place that order. And I know we did personalizations on the inside of the books, but if you go get that book tonight, you get that order in tonight, we'll go ahead and make sure you don't miss out, right? We'll make sure that you get that also in your book. So just make sure you place that order tonight. All right, that's all I have, Dr. B, and I'm gonna turn this back over to you.
Thank you for that, Ms. Dyer. Everybody, I really appreciate all the positive sentiments. I really appreciate your energy, appreciate this movement. So let's close with a bit of prayer, with a word of prayer, excuse me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together, to raise our awareness, to expand ourselves, to put ourselves in a position of understanding the way your kingdom works. Please understand that we thank you for this movement and every single person and their role in it. We are thankful, we are appreciative, and we are grateful. And the entire BYOB world said amen. All right, everybody, we'll see you at 5 o'clock in the morning. This will officially end this call.